Well, good afternoon, good evening. It's excuse me. I was really impressed with our kids today. They're especially being banged up the way we were during the game. Showed a lot of guts, and a lot of toughness. And we did the things we had to do at the end of the game to get the win, the stops. The free throws. I mean, to win close games, you have to be able to do that. And I was very, certainly KJ, again, played well today. I thought we had Jeremiah did a good job of running the team and defending. Those steals were huge for us. At the end, I thought those, that was, even though we got beat on the boards pretty handily, I thought our ability to take care of the basketball sort of negated the mismatch on the boards. I'm impressed with Central Florida. Johnny Dawkins has done an excellent job. Whenever we're both taking over programs, and he's doing an excellent job there. So it was a good win for our program, a good win for our players. So it was a good team effort all the way around. Any questions?
Coach, a couple of weeks ago you made a comment about the size of the dog in the fight versus the fight in the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the size of your Tigers in the fight against players so tall.
Well, for the most part, we're going to be sort of, we wanted to, what can I say? We're giving up a lot of size, a lot of bulk, and when teams run in other tall, big players, that always creates a problem for us, and that's why we're getting so beat up on the boards, 41-28. But we talk about just being able to overcome obstacles. We talk to our players a lot about, the challenges. The greater the challenge, the greater reward. Just being able to rise to the occasion. I thought that's what we try to get our guys to understand. You've got to take the fight to people, attack, and one thing with Markel, KJ, Jeremiah, when they get in open court, they're pretty aggressive in attacking the basket, and that's been a huge help to us. I was hollering, slow it up, and they attacked, and we got an and one off out of it, and the technical foul that one with Markel. So sometimes it's and that's his game, and that's Jeremiah's game, and sometimes we have a little concern there about him slow it down when they want to attack. But I thought tonight we played at a good pace when we had to. But you're right. I think you have to overachieve if you're smaller and you don't have the depth that some of the teams have in this league, or some of the teams we played against. So, and that's a mentality thing. And I think I don't know that I've seen in these players just since we've been here. They've got a lot of. I mean, they're fighters.
Tubby, how are you?
Hey, how you doing, Dick?
I'm good. For a young team, you guys don't turn the ball over, at least today. I mean, you had 6 turnovers.
Okay, you didn't see the game the other night.
Yeah, well,
okay.
We won't tell.
Jesus.
But, you forced them into an open floor games. Mm-hmm. And secondly, you did a pretty good job changing up your strategy, because he locks himself into the box both ways, and
Mm-hmm.
really seemed to find ways to attack them differently in the second half.
You're right. We did. We tried a little bit of everything. For the most part, we ran some pick and roll with bringing Diedrich up, thinking that, Taco would stay down, which he did. And I thought Jamario did a good job when he saw an opportunity to take him off the dribble, and that was a huge drive and score at the basket. But I could tell early on we were a little intimidated, even though we had some good looks. We did. We tried a lot of different things offensively, but that's the versatility of the 5 guys that play a lot. They were pretty versatile. You got guys like Diedrich, and he can score. He can. He had his hands full today and got in some foul trouble, but but he's an excellent scorer. You know, KJ is when he's feeling good and his foot's he's pretty athletic and I mean not athletic, but he's pretty smart and pretty heady player. And then in Markel and Jamario and Jeremiah, you know, we have probably 3 excellent defenders. You know, they're not and so that's where we can create some offense as well. With the 9, but we have 7. You know, we forced 16 turnovers, so that was huge for us, and we had to do it with our defense. You know, so it's a fine line between pressing or when to press, when to pull it back, and to just monitor, you know, their time. And for instance, today we saw, you know, Markel. I didn't realize he played 40 minutes. You know, I sent a guy in the game for him, and he went in for the wrong person, and that's probably the communication. He did. Maybe I'm glad he didn't.
Are you gaining appreciation for this team's sort of, you know, they're not perfect, but the kind of their moxie, their ability to. It seems like nothing really. You mentioned they were a little intimidated early, but it seems like they always have, and especially recently, have come up with a response. Are they surprising you with how sort of gutsy they've been here lately, with given the numbers?
Well, no, I'm not surprised. I am pleased. I am encouraged. I told him all the time, I'm a big fan of players at this level, at any level in college level, especially at this level though, and because they're dealing with a lot of things that I never had to deal with as a kid or a player, with the social media and all the other, and the pressure, you know, to perform in front of people. And not just the TV, but, you know, they have a lot of relatives. You know, we got all 5 of the starters are from Tennessee, and so that makes a premium. So yeah, I'm a big fan of our players, and they're coachable. I said that from the beginning, and I said that to them at the beginning. If they're coachable and they listen. Because they all want to win. Central Florida everybody wants to win, but it's a matter of how you win is important, and how you play, and the people you become, and how you represent this program. I mean, those are the things, the values that we treasure, and the things we try to teach. And I think winning is a byproduct of all that, of doing what you're supposed to do in the classroom, taking care of business off the court, being respectful. So that's what, and you know, if you do those things, whether it's the W comes up or it's an L, you're a winner.
Hey, Coach. Diedrich picked up that second foul with 7:06 left in the first half. You finished on a 17-7 run to lead by 3 at the halftime. Mm-hmm. You say all the time that the halftime score is irrelevant. You don't care about it that much. But how big was that to change your halftime talk to say, hey, we had a chance to maybe trail at the half, but you took a 3-point lead with Diedrich on the bench with 2 fouls?
That was huge. It was really big, you know, to get some confidence, you know, because we were struggling to score. I think we were shooting about 20-some% at one point in that first half, missing layups. You know, right off we missed a layup to start the game. We missed 2. I think we missed 2 or 3. I thought easy baskets. We were missing free throws. So it was important, and that momentum. But we really didn't talk much about, you know. In fact, I don't think I ever mentioned the score at halftime. I don't think I ever do. You know, we just talk about, hey, this is what we have to do going back out. And you know a team's they're gonna make adjustments. We have to make adjustments. We were just lucky that ours, you know, we were able to hold our ground and Diedrich not get in foul trouble. But I was impressed with you know, Craig Randall came in the game. He was 3 for 6. I mean, he gave us 16 solid minutes. I mean, really, that was huge, because you're right, we went on that run while he was in the game. And while Diedrich was not in the game. So that was impressive.
Your preparation for the game, you know you're going up against a guy in 7'6" at Taco Fall, which is a unique situation. How much did that affect your game plan, or did it affect it at all on both ends of the floor?
Well, it affected. Obviously, we tried to make the adjustments to try to pull them away from the basket, weren't very successful at that. Then you have to look at something else if that's not working. And they did a good job of changing their defense, 1-3-1, man-to-man, 2-3. But that's what I was appreciated about our guys. They were very patient offensively. And but if we didn't do anything extraordinary to prepare, we just kind of told them this is how you're going to have to attack Taco. And Jamario, he got an offensive rebound one time and came down with it. I said, what did I tell you? You should have shot it while you were up there. Just can't, man, he did. He was like, yeah, you're right, Coach. And we told him, if you get an offensive rebound, don't bring it down because, he's coming. And I think Jeremiah did the same thing. Early in the game, drove it in, got his shot blocked. And but then he made a tough play, a couple of tough moves inside to score over him as well. So that's pretty much all we did.
Coach Smith, I've been a fan of yours since the Tulsa days, and this is beginning to
It's a long time, boy.
This is beginning to look like a typical Tubby Smith team. They're defending well. You held them to 40% shooting. You turned them over 16 times. You only had 6 turnovers. Do you think, and I know coaches hate to look forward, but do you think that this team is rounding into shape and ready to maybe look at a postseason run in the NCAA tournament?
We've got too much to worry about, like Temple. Who's a team that's a pretty, they're a team that's struggling, but they're young, and certainly Fran Duffy. But it's still, they are starting to round into, I want guys to be more, more single-minded during the game, But I know there's a lot of fans and kids today. They get into the games, they see trying to get the crowd involved. We had a good crowd today, but that's what it is, and I think this group is becoming more. They want to win. They're very serious-minded, and that's what I keep talking about. It's time to have fun. It's a time to go to work, and so they're understanding in practice the same way. It helps when you're winning. That you can do people listen a little bit better, and and they're more committed, and they see the results. That the process is working, and the things we say it will work. We've got a long way to go. It's a lot of games to play, but I'm just concerned about, just like today, we have KJ goes down. Diedrich hits his knee. Mario those are scary moments for us, and that's one thing we were concerned about.
Coach, UCF got possession with about 18 seconds to go, and then after the timeout, they came back out on the floor, and you immediately called timeout again. What did you see there that made you call timeout a second time?
Well, I just didn't want. I wanted to remind them that they wanted to switch a certain thing, and because I don't think they really changed this. They ran, I think, what we thought they were going to run, even the second time around, and we did a good job of switching out on Matt, the shooter there, because they were looking for the 3. They needed a 3, and Matt Williams. We did a good job of. I think Jamario, who's one of our better defenders, was on the back end of the stagger, the front end of it, and when he came off, he made him go a little bit wider, and gave Markel or whoever was guarding him, I think it was a little more time to get out on the ball. So, and that's what I want to do, just take another look. And like I said, Alvin Pooh Williamson, who scouted it, I said, what did it look like? What did you see? What do you think they're going to run? And I thought it was just what he drew up, what we had defended in practice. So scouting is important, and having those timeouts available to do that was important.
Coach, you mentioned the Temple game coming up very quickly. What can you tell us about that team? Well,
they're a team that's, they're very young. I think they're starting 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and a junior. So they're a very young team. They've got the coach of the year, 2-time coach of the year, in Fran Duffy. So he's going to have his team ready to play. They had had injuries and whatnot, but they know they're capable. They beat West Virginia, beat Florida State, so they they're very capable of beating us and anybody else. So, I think, Lonnie, I think Moore, he's a very talented player, he's about 5th or 6th in the league in three-point shooting. And in OB, I don't want to mess his name up. He's a very talented player. I know, let's put it that way. But we know we've got our work cut out for us, and anytime you're on the road, they're sort of like us. They don't, they lack a little depth. They don't have a deep bench, but the 8, 9 guys they play are pretty solid.